Good afternoon, students. So, in my previous class, in the video that I have sent, I have started the chapter Mughal rule. I have already given an introduction that how Babur established his kingdom in India, and Babur's childhood life was very strugglesome. He had to struggle a lot to get back his ancestral property. Being an orphan, he was turned out by the Uzbek Turks from Samarkand, and finally at the age of 21 he conquered Kabul and began to look towards India. There were two main reasons why Babur wanted to enter India. First of all, as a rightful claim as the heir of Taimur the Lame. As I said that Akbar was a descendant of Taimur the Lame and Genghis Khan one from the father's side. On the father's side of Taimur, who had invaded India in the 14th century. And the second, he was also lured by stories of the fabulous wealth about India. India's immense wealth he has also heard. So he was planning to enter India. He was attracted very much. But his entry into India was welcomed by the first battle of Panipat. As you already know that he was invited by Daulat Khan Lodi and Rana Sanga. They wanted Babur to come to India and fight with Ibrahim Lodi. After defeating Ibrahim Lodi, when Babur will go back to his kingdom, then they would rule over India. Accordingly, in 1523, Babur was invited by Daulat Khan Lodi, the governor of Punjab, to come to India and help him defeat Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi and Babur met at Panipat in the battlefield in 1526. Advantage of Babur was that Babur's army was very small but disciplined, and that was for the first time that Babur used artillery, and he was very strong. Artillery which included firearms with gunpowder. In the battle that followed, Ibrahim Lodi was defeated. Babur's victory in the first battle of Panipat brought areas around Delhi and Agra under him. So the consequence was that in the first battle of Panipat, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi and established the Mughal rule in India and brought some areas like Agra and Delhi under his own control. Immediately the next year was the Battle of Khanwa in 1527, where Babur's conquest of Agra now posed a threat to Rana Sanga. Why? Because Rana Sanga was the powerful ruler of Mewar. Rana Sanga thought that Babur would return to Kabul after defeating Ibrahim Lodi. So both Daulat Khan Lodi and Rana Sanga had a wrong conception that after defeating Ibrahim Lodi, Babur would come back to his own kingdom. However, when he realized that Babur planned to stay on and establish an empire in India, Rana Sanga organized a confederacy. Confederacy means a group of rulers joined hands together. The Rajput princes joined hands. Babur and Rana Sanga met at the Battle of Khanwa near Fatehpur Sikri in 1527. They met at Fatehpur Sikri in 1527. Rana Sanga here also, like Ibrahim Lodi, Rana Sanga had a larger army. He was also the hero of several battles, having lost an arm and eye in the previous battle. However, after Babur defeated him using superior, the greatest advantage of Babur was he was using the artillery. He was using artillery which was till then unknown to the Indian rulers. The Battle of Khanwa was considered to be more decisive than that of the Battle of Panipat, because it firmly established the Mughal rule in India. And the last battle that Babur had to fight was the Battle of Ghagra. After defeating the confederacy of the Rajputs in the Battle of Khanwa, Babur turned eastwards. He defeated the Afghans in the Battle of Ghagra, fought on the banks of river Ghagra. In 1529, Babur's authority now extended over Punjab, Agra, Awadh, Gwalior, Bihar and parts of Rajasthan, beside Kabul, which became a part of the outer territory of the empire. So, Battle of Ghagra proved to be more profitable for Babur. After this battle, he conquered some more territories. Babur made Delhi his capital of the Mughal Empire. However, he is dead. Now Babur, as you know, that he came to India in 1526, where he defeated Ibrahim Lodi, but he could not consolidate his nascent kingdom, which was a small young born kingdom, because he died in 1530, just 4 years after the battle of Panipat, which did not allow him to enjoy the fruits of his victories, and he also could not consolidate his empire. Now Babur was not an able general, he was a great patron of art also. He wrote his own autobiography, the Baburnama, which is a rich source of information of that period. Babur was a great lover of natural beauty. He laid out many gardens all over Delhi, rather all over his kingdom, among which the most famous is the Ram Bagh in Agra. So after Babur, so this was the Babur was the main architect of the Mughal Empire. He established Mughal rule in India, but the next ruler, that Babur, was succeeded by his son Humayun. Though a great conqueror, Babur was unable to consolidate his rule because he got a very small span of time. So Babur was succeeded by his son Humayun. As I told you when I was taking my class, that or in the first video, that they were 4 brothers, and Humayun had to fight with all of them, because during that time the system of the primogeniture was not followed. Primogeniture means the eldest son would become the ruler, but during that time this system was not followed. So all the time, whenever a ruler died, there was a war of succession, which led to disunity among the member of the ruling family. Initially, Humayun had to face opposition from the Afghan ruler Bahadur Shah. So Humayun also, when he ascended the throne, he had to face lot of problem. First was Bahadur Shah, second was the Afghan chief Sher Shah, who posed the greatest challenge to Humayun. Sher Khan was the governor of present-day Bihar. He declared his independence from Humayun. Humayun being the Mughal emperor, but Sher Shah declared his independence from Humayun. So Humayun attacked him in Chunar in the same year. That is in 1531, Humayun attacked Sher Shah in Chunar in 1531. Now 4 months later, Humayun had to come back his siege of Chunar and travel to Gujarat, where Bahadur Shah was posing a challenge to Humayun. Humayun defeated Bahadur Shah at Mandu and Champani in 1534. But after defeating Bahadur Shah, again he had to rush back to Bihar, because Sher Shah once again recaptured his lost territories. As the case of it was in the control of his brother Askari. Bahadur Shah took advantage. So once he went to take care of Sher Shah, Bahadur Shah was a problem. When he went to take care of Bahadur Shah, Sher Shah was a problem. So Sher Khan captured Chunar fort and proclaimed himself as the master of Bengal. He then inflicted a heavy defeat on Humayun. So the two important battles that Sher Shah fought with Humayun was the Battle of Chausa and the Battle of Kannauj. The Battle of Chausa was fought in 1539 and Battle of Kannauj was 1540. After this battle, the Battle of Kannauj, Humayun had to flee Persia, where he was sheltered by the Shah of Persia for 15 years. And it is said that during these 15 years, he wandered around in the forest. He was a prince without a kingdom. Next was the brief rule of the Sood dynasty. The empire founded by Babur briefly passed into the hands of Sher Khan, because Humayun was defeated in the 2 battles of Chausa and Kannauj. As a result, the newly founded kingdom passed into hands of Sher Shah, the founder of the Sood dynasty. The reign of the Sood dynasty covered a period of 15 years. Sher Khan ascended the throne of Delhi in 1540 and crowned himself as the ruler of Delhi, originally called Farid, but he had killed a tiger single-handedly. So the ruler of Bihar gave him the title of Sher Khan. Now, what the battles fought by Sher Shah was, during the short period of his reign, Sher Shah subdued the Khokars in the northwest and conquered Malwa, Sindh and Multan. He then subdued Marwar, which was under the rule of the Rajput chief Maldev. So first he defeated the Khokars and then Maldev, that is Marwar was captured, which was ruled by Maldev. Sher Shah's last expedition was against Kalinjar under the Chandelas. He died so he was preparing himself to go for the siege of the Kalinjar fort. During that time he was cleaning his gun. All on a sudden the gunpowder explosion took place and he died in 1545. So dear students, today we will do up to this. Next day we will start from the administration of Sher Shah. Till then, all of you please go through your chapter thoroughly. Stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.